Welcome to Can TV 21 Hotline. Let's talk etiquette. It's such a wonderful time of the year, and I'm so pleased to be here with you. I love this period of the year. It's so festive, and people in such a great mood. People smiling at you, and it's just such a wonderful time of the year. And etiquette really is an important subject during this period. And so I think it's just something that we need to keep reminding ourselves of how important that word is. Because when you use that word, when that word comes into your mind, you begin to think about it and act differently. And if you said to yourself, I want to be the best at etiquette that I can possibly be. And that's a mindset that says, I want to be great. I want to be wonderful. I want to be a great contributor to humanity. And that's something that we all can do. So today is a special subject that I have for you, and I'm sure you're going to get something really nice out of it. So let me put it up on the overhead so that you can see what our subject is today. But don't forget, the number is right there. Call me. Steve, if you're out there, call me. Corey, if you're out there, call me. Okay? Because this is Christmas time, and I won't see you again until after Christmas. And I want to talk with you before Christmas. There's that number there, 312-738-1060. So please, pick up the phone and call me. You're going to love this topic here. Let me put it on the overhead so that you can see what we're going to talk about today. Etiquette-centered parentology. Yes, etiquette-centered parentology. It's such an awesome subject, and you probably never even heard that word being pronounced that way. And essentially is the science of raising children. Okay? So I get back to me. And so this is a discipline that we want to advance for our parents particularly. It's important for them to really have an intellectual side of parenting. And it's a great discipline. There's lots of stuff out there on parentology that you will just be such a great parent. Isn't that what we all want to be who are parents? Do we not want to be the best parent that we can possibly be? Look at the benefit of that. Think about the consequences, lifelong consequences. You have the opportunity to shape this child that you bore. You really have a great opportunity to do something so special, so unique. You have the chance to set this human being on the course of life that they'll live a great life. And it's up to you, the parent. You birthed this child. And if you take that responsibility seriously, you're going to produce a great human being that's going to serve humanity. Isn't that what you want to do? Is to create someone who can just give so much to humanity in your name, in your legacy. And so this is why etiquette-centered parentology is such an important subject. Yes, it is. And again, it's the science of raising children. That's what it is. It's a science. And what we want to do here at the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois is to lay out our philosophy about parentology. And our philosophy, I think after 20 years, is a pretty sound philosophy on parentology. And we have devoted hundreds, even thousands of hours studying this subject. So we know, I know, members of the foundation know, because we're all are parents. It's not a member in the foundation. Maybe there's one that's not a parent yet. Okay, we do have one or two younger members on the board. But it's an obligation to another human being, and that's what parentology is all about. You have an obligation to do the very, very best that you can do as a parent. But because we have kind of lowered the standards over the last 30, 40 years, parenting is not what it once was. And that's a sad, sad legacy to where we have gone over the last 30 years. We were supposed to be better. Science and the technology and all those things that's supposed to make life such a wonderful thing, it has really distracted us in a very, very negative way. We don't have time to think about our children, our child, because we're on this thing called a phone. We're busy there, or we're busy texting and tweeting and all those other things. We're not paying attention to that person we created. So we want parents to get back to parenting and put those devices down. Just put them down. Stop using them. Okay, you don't have to. Your child is far more important. And it's only 24 hours in a day. I don't care how much channels on TV you have and how many computers and how many TVs you have. It's only 24 hours in the day, and that's not going to change. And now you're allowing some technology to take time away from your child. It's literally stealing from your child because your child is not getting the benefit of your time and your attention. And that child deserves it. Or don't have any. If you're going to be married to the technology and that's all your life, you want your life to represent, then stay parentless. That's the best way to do that. But when you decide that you want to create another you, then you need to be serious about that. So we're going to give you our 5 parentology values. Okay? So if you have a pen, write them down. Record this show, go to YouTube, and you'll be able to see the show at some point in the near future. Now, we wanted to make this announcement real quick. Next week is our last show for this season. And we won't be back on until April. So next week we will be making an announcement about etiquette-centered mentoring and etiquette-centered parenting for our spring workshop. So we have the time, the dates, and all that good information on our last show. So please do not miss that show because these are free classes, free lessons. And it doesn't cost you anything but gas to get to where the class is going to be held, okay? Now, here are our 5 values. Let me put those up so you can see those. Okay, parentology, 5 core values. 1 is early childhood language development. Okay? Early childhood language development. Now, why is that important? You need to start teaching your child certain words because within those words are values. You can start this at 1.5. Certain words have values. And so now you want to intellectualize your child's values through words. So you want to teach them certain words. I mean, etiquette is somewhat of a complicated word for 1.5-year-old or 2-year-old. But if they hear that word and you're repeating it to them on a regular basis, then I assure you that it will have lasting value in their psychic and in their value system. Now, when you participate in our etiquette-centered parenting classes in the spring, we have 20 words that you will be given so that you can apply those words in raising your child. And these are words that only like 4 or 5 a day that you repeat to your child so they can hear that word. And once they begin to speak, you want them to learn that word. Like, hello, how are you? Please, may I? Thank you very much. If they repeat those words on a daily basis, because after all, the first classroom, the first school is your home. And you are educating your child on a given set of principles, a given set of rules that you want them to incorporate into their psychic and into their intellectual development. So these words are very, very important. And we have a list of words for the toddlers, a list of words for the children or child through that childhood period. We have a list of words for that adolescent stage and the teenage stage. These words here are very, very critical towards their overall intellectual development. And so that's a very, very important part of this program that's coming up next year for the spring sessions. Okay? Let me give you the next one of these 5 values. The next one is the role of etiquette, teaching manners and morals. The role of etiquette. Etiquette has a role in our lives. It's part of our humanity. It's part of our sense of discipline. It's part of our ability to care about others. Having good manners and good morals. You start this process at 3, 4, and 5. It's a matter of them hearing you talk, and you're saying these words that they are beginning to hear. And once they're 3 or 4, they can repeat. They have the ability to say, okay, son, repeat the word hello. At 3, they can do that. Or hello, son, repeat the word of thank you. Say thank you to daddy. They'll say it, thank you, daddy. Okay? So this is the way you teach your child, giving them the kind of vocabulary skills that will make them a much more healthier individual and a more positive individual with these words. They become empowered with words. And with those words comes values, comes behavior. And they will know exactly what to do and how to do it under given circumstances. And they'll have the language skills so important for them to be able to develop themselves down a certain path in having good manners and good morals, character development. All of those things come along at different stages. And you as their parent want to keep your school door open until your child leaves your home. Then maybe you can close your home school. Okay? So this is critical to giving this child the skills they would need to go out into the world and be as successful as that intellectual ability that you helped them develop. This is beyond the schools that you're going to send them to. You are there to give them the character skills they are going to need in this life from birth to death. And you want them to be the best at this skill set as you can possibly help them to become. Okay? So that's an extremely part of the training that you will get when you participate in our program. Okay? Okay, the next word or value is the role and responsibility of being human. The role and responsibility of being human. That's critical. They have to understand what it is to be human. And they can learn this at 6, 7, 8 years of age. What is it to be human? If you don't have a clue, you don't have an understanding, who are you? You have a role to play. And it starts with your humanity. We all have a level of humanity in us. And if we understand what it is to be human, we're going to be the best that we can possibly be. It's our role in this society to be the best human being that this society can produce. See, so it's on you, the parent. Etiquette-centered parentology. Look it up. Google it. Learn about it. Incorporate it into your value system. That's what you should do as a parent. I have a caller. Caller.
Hello, how you doing this evening?
Hello, how are you?
Happy holiday to you and yours.
Thank you so much. Who am I
Oh,
speaking to?
oh, my name is Paula. Wait.
Miss
Yeah,
Wade.
go over there for a minute.
Thank
Wait,
you,
just a
Miss
minute.
Wade.
Let me clear my line. Yes. How you doing? Happy holiday to
Thank
you,
you so
sir.
much and happy holidays to you. And I wish
You're
you the
doing a
very
good job.
best
You're
over
doing
the
a good
holiday
job
season.
with the etiquette, trying to teach our younger generation.
Yes.
And I noticed that you had on one of your lists on how to be a human to a person.
Yes.
And it's really very simple. It's common courtesy.
Yes.
If you see an older person getting out of a car trying to go into a store, having a hard time on a walker, all you got to do is help them open the door.
That's all. It's
That's
just that
all it
simple.
is. What goes around comes around, because someday the youth today doesn't realize that they're going to be old also.
Right.
And they're going to need etiquette.
Yes.
All it is the basics. Please, thank you. How are you
Yes.
today?
Yes.
Keep your kindness. Keep your blessings. Stay away
Yes.
from the troublemakers.
Right.
Because there's some people that you cannot fix. It don't matter if they come from a good family,
Yes.
a bad family.
Yes.
Humanity comes from inside of you.
It does.
Okay, I'm Italian. I come from a rough family. I didn't have no mom. I didn't have no dad. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
But I know how to take care of people.
That's
I've been in
wonderful.
the
I'm glad
food
to hear you say
business,
that.
Restaurant business all my life, and that's a very personal job.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes
People
I see
job.
a person can't cut their food. I'll cut their food for them.
Right.
It comes from in the heart.
It does.
It's got nothing to do with black people, white people, Chinese people. It comes from inside of you.
You're absolutely
And you're doing
right.
a great job. Stay on these kids for Chicago, you hear?
Absolutely, I will. Now, thank you for calling. That's such a testimony.
Tell them happy holidays and put the guns down. No more.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Happy holidays
Wow.
to you and your family.
Thank you so much, and the same
You're
goes
welcome.
out to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a wonderful call. What a testimony. I'm so happy I connected with this lady and she chose to pick up the phone and call. Thank you, madam. Thank you. You are absolutely right. Everything you hit right on the nail. And it's not complicated. It's just about being a human and respecting other humans because you want them to respect you. And those folks you mentioned that's in the wheelchair, at one time they was healthy and young, and I'm certain they did the same thing for the elderly in that timeline for them. And this is, like you said, it's about giving back. Okay? It was your turn, you helped others, now they're helping you. And that's what life is all about. It really is. And it's not complicated, just like the caller said. Thank you, caller. Really appreciate that. Now, back to this subject. I want to move on to do the next overhead bullet on this grand subject that we're covering today, the 5 core values of parentology. The next one is the rules governing citizenship in society. Let me repeat that. The rules governing citizenship in society. Okay? Yes. As a citizen, there are a set of rules you're required to adhere to. And in fact, we live in a rule-based society. Everything you do is based on some kind of rule. There's a rule governing it. Etiquette is a set of rules. That's all it is. Basketball, golf are all sets of rules. Even the language, how you write it, your punctuation, there's a set of rules that's governing it. So this is the same thing with your citizenship. And we're encouraging parents to start talking about citizenship when your child is 7, 8, or 9 years old. They need to understand this is a contract with the government and the society you live in. It's actually a contract. You're a citizen, therefore you come up under the laws and regulations of the society you live in. If you're a citizen of Canada, you come up under their rules and regulations. If you're a citizen of China, you come up under their rules and regulations. Okay? So in all societies, they have a set of rules for all of its citizens. Okay? And so you need to start fairly early teaching your child about those rules. And if you go online, you can Google citizenship rules and requirements, and you will be surprised. There's a set of rules for you. And so long as you are classified as a citizen of this country, you are obligated under those rules to adhere to them. And if you do not, there are consequences. This is how society controls its citizens, by having a set of rules that you are liable to if you violate those rules. So know what your citizenship rules are, because we are affected by it each and every day. Okay, let's move on to the last one that I want to share with you, because our time is running out, so I want to get to that one. This is a very, very important one. Education is the road to economic self-sufficiency. Let me read that again. Education is the road to economic self-sufficiency. Now, parents, think about that. What are you educating your child to be able to do? What kind of contribution are they going to make to this society? The first one is to be self-sufficient, and therefore they will contribute to this society because they are competent enough to be employed or employable so that they can make a contribution. Okay? No matter what it is, if you're changing tires on someone's automobile, you're making a contribution to this society, because if my tire is flat, I'm going to need you to come and repair it for me, right? So there are millions of jobs wherein your child can be educated so that they can be economically self-sufficient. And really it's about how to monetize the knowledge you learn in your home school as well as in your regular public or private school. You want your child to understand they're going to school so they have the ability to be employable or to create a job for themselves. That's employable. You work for yourself, you're employed. You're employing yourself. And so that they can make a contribution to the health and growth and sustainability of this society. So that is the education you need to, I'm going to put it back up there. That is the education you need to focus on from birth till your child leaves your home. Education is the road to economic self-sufficiency. And that way your child is not a burden. Your child is not a burden to society. You don't want to raise a child. You've had 20 years to prepare this child, and yet this child is unemployable. Can't find a job, is not qualified to be employed. Whose fault is that? It's the child's parents. Really, it is. You can't say it wasn't my fault because my child failed. What? The child lives in your house, under your roof, and you're supporting that child, and you're going to say it's not your responsibility if that child is not employable? You take the time and you look at what's out here in the marketplace, and you look at your child's skill sets, and you tell your child, you counsel your child, son, I think you'd be great with your hands. And there's thousands of jobs that you can use your hands with a little knowledge, and you can be employable. This whole world is built with the hands. Everything around you, the hands played a part in it. And if your child develops some basic skills, they can use their hands and be employable. So they're not a burden on you or on the community or on the government. So those are the 5 basic values that we want to encourage you to, employ in the raising of your child. Okay? And if you can do that, I think you're going to be okay. And your child, more importantly, is going to have the abilities to be self-sufficient. And that's such a joy. You get so much pride in being able to pay your own rent, or buy you a car, or feed yourself. I'm telling you, that child will feel so good about themselves if they can do that. They don't have to come to mama. Oh, what do we have for dinner? Okay, that's your role as a parent. Well, I'm going to conclude with that by thanking you and thanking that lady for calling. And I want everyone to have a wonderful, wonderful holiday and be safe. Okay, enjoy, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.